What's going on, gamers? We got an interesting post here by Nicola covering Xbox Player Voice, which launched. And it's interesting because it gives you the idea of how important identity is in the world in general. Sony has now officially went back to exclusives. I knew this topic was going to generate a lot of things. So now we're getting to the Xbox world. Not only just Xbox fanboys, but Xbox players. Not everybody's an Xbox fanboy. And there's also nothing wrong with being a fanboy. It's just being a toxic fanboy that is not being genuine that is the problem. And Nicola says, and there it is, the #1 requested thing on Xbox Player Voice. People want exclusives. Exclusives are not anti-consumer. Don't let virtue signals gaslight you into it. I've already explained this before. Apple #1 or #2 right now on the market has always been exclusive. It's all about Apple. Marvel's always been about Marvel. #1 NVIDIA, always been about NVIDIA and RTX and DLSS. And they were ruling the world for the longest, even back in the 90s. NVIDIA. It's like, that identity there. Disney, Mickey Mouse, all the Disney films, exclusivity. Nintendo, Mario, Pokemon, Zelda, Metroid, Smash, whatever you want to say. It's the exclusive identity and it rules. It's the top on the market, Microsoft, Windows. When you think about the monopoly they've had for the longest. When 360 had an identity with Party Chat and Halo. You got an Xbox for Halo back then. Don't tell me you did not. When the original Xbox came out in the 360, it was mainly for Halo. Same thing for Gears and certain other games. Don't tell me anything else because you're lying to me. Sega for Sonic, they had their identity. You had your mascot. Everybody needs a mascot. When you think about Best Buy, there's an identity there. When you think about Walmart, there's an identity there. What you see what I mean? It's like no matter where you go, when you think about AT&T, you know what I mean? It has an identity. Like, you can't tell me all these companies that have been competing forever, sports teams, they all have their own logos and identities. Don't tell me identity does not matter. Of course, exclusives matter. And you're not going to beat me on that conversation because that's what the world has always been about. Anyways, let's keep going. Home, Xbox Player Voice, Google, YouTube. You see, same thing. Everybody, when you think of YouTube, you know it's Google. All right, this is the funny thing here. Get ready for this. Home, Xbox Player Voice. Xbox Player Voice. Welcome to Xbox Player Voice. This is a new place to share your feedback. We're making it easier to share input and see how it's being handled. Interesting stuff. Posts are visible to other players, so please avoid sharing your personal info. 2,916 feedbacks. But the interesting thing is, when you look at this post, it has 6,508 upvotes. Carlos Hernandez is the guy that posted this. Exclusives full cap. Xbox was built off of great game exclusives. Just like anything else was built off of its own identity. When I think about going to certain places, I'm like, I'm going here because of the identity. When I think about Jordan or Nike, you see what I mean? It's like the identity is attracting you with the name. The name pulls you in. Magnetic, non-applicable magnetic energy. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but it draws you to it. Do that check. You're walking towards it. It's magnetic. Okay, Xbox was built off of great exclusives. Like when you see the Xbox logo, some people have a thing with that. When you see the PlayStation, you see what I mean? It's magnetic energy. You feel drawn to it. Or when you see, like, you hear the Mario coins or the mushroom sound up, you know what I'm talking about. That type of stuff draws you in. You cannot sell any consoles without a reason to buy the console compared to your competition or even. That's the thing. How are you competing if you have nothing to compete with? Why would you buy Xbox hardware right now? Definitely when Game Pass went to $30, that was the only identity left. And even then, the identity is not exclusive because it's in the PC world to be played at higher specifications. That's what I was telling you. It's like, no, this is the #1 post right now since the thing went live. Exclusives. So many people have been crying about this. They really want exclusives to return to the Xbox world, but without realizing that Game Pass has killed your market and that you told nobody, I wish you would have, you told everybody that you don't need to buy the consoles. And everything is available on PC and now everything's on PlayStation. Put on the Master Chief PlayStation shirt. You know what I mean? It's like, why would you do that? So that means that why do I need an Xbox if I can play all your games on my PS5 Pro on higher settings? So Satya's like, well, the reason why is because we have no mascot anymore. We have no identity. I hate the exclusive world. He said it because we have no identity. Of course you're not going to like it. Why would you like it? Because it's not representing you. You made Microsoft a winning company, but when you step into the gaming industry, you don't feel like that's what's representing you. and your pride. That's not going to work. So the best thing to make Xbox look good is to pimp out, you know what I mean? Or be a third-party publisher, meaning that we got to put our games all over, make that look good, because that's what we're doing. So I need to get my money back on PlayStation. PlayStation, give me my money back. Nintendo, give me my money back. Steam, give me my money back. So I have to put my games all over, and then my sales look really good. My communities are alive and growing, and I want to promote this. This is what I have to push and convince people to do, because I can't afford to go exclusive. And then this game cost me 200 million, and Xbox is only giving me back 20, 30 million because everybody's on Game Pass. You know, it's like you can't even pay for the fund that it costs you to get the game. So how could you afford to go exclusives and kill your publishing? It's like, if you do that, it is over. Xbox is completely shut down. That's a gamble that needs to be thought about. You don't think Asha is thinking about probably that request, but then at the same time, she's never thought about, if my publishing fails, it's over. Because if I'm going to make games exclusive, first I need my console to be bought. Then that means I'm going to have to put in my game for free as a bundle, and I'm going to have to drop the price by $150. That 2 terabyte Galaxy needs to be $600. The Series X needs to go back to $500. Then in the holidays, put it on sale for $450. The S needs to go back to $300, needs to go on sale for $250. And needs to have 3 months of Game Pass and a game, which Voices should have already had that going. You see what I mean? But they didn't do it because Satya does not want to do that. He has not got his money back. He's just going to be subsidizing and losing more money. You can say what you want about her, but he's still the boss. Though the gamers want this because they realize that's when it worked, but that's when your world was actually alive. It's so dead now, it's impossible to think about exclusives because it doesn't work. You're not in a PlayStation position. You're not in a Nintendo position, and you're not in a Steam position. You need them. When you make the Helix, if you don't have Steam, what do you have? An overpriced hardware that nobody wants because I can have my PC and have Steam on it. You don't have Steam, why do I care? It's not going to sell that much anyways, right? If you don't have PlayStation, where's your publishing going to play games at higher settings? Nintendo has a limit on specifications. Though it still could work though. But at the end of the day, even then, you still need them. You need how are you going to get your sales? Your market is dead. Game Pass day one has destroyed everything. You're going to take everything off of Game Pass, and that takes that down. Now the value is less than PlayStation Plus. You see what I mean? They've trapped themselves. And they all know it too. And in a certain way, unless you're just really brainwashed, right? It's like you're trapped. And you have an AI CEO, and you think that the AI CEO is going to do a better job than people that have been in the gaming industry for over 20 plus years, and she showed up from an AI position, all of a sudden she's a messiah. That's when I realized, boy, these IQs over there must be so low, it don't make no sense. Because how the hell is she going to do anything when she's not a gaming developer? She don't understand it like that. Oh, you don't need to be in the gaming industry. What are you talking about? You know how many people gaming that came in the industry way more intelligent than her, like Steven Spielberg from Hollywood and Google Stadia, you know what I mean? Verizon, Amazon, they have way more money than her in her budget. Oh, Microsoft has a lot of money, but I mean, they all tried. So don't feed me that. It doesn't work. The gaming industry cannot be bought. And you cannot get in first place and dominate everything with just money. Everybody has tried it. It's the most complex industry in the world, and I love it because it has a soul. And not all gamers are dumb. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a great thing to see that. So going down to some of these comments, it's going to start to get interesting. That's why I said we have to really read this. Deadeye says exclusives are most definitely anti-consumer. How is something that made gaming get into the position that it's in? Dude, if it wasn't for Mario, you have no gaming in America. They deemed it dead. Mario sold 40-some million copies. And gaming is alive because of it. Mario Jesus the gaming industry in the 90s and late 80s. So did Pokemon. Game Boy sold 107 million. Nintendo Jesus the gaming industry. From Japan. You're here because of exclusives. PC survived because of League of Legends and World of Warcraft. Exclusive. Shut your mouth. League of Legends carried PC gaming. The whole world was on it for the longest. That was only in the PC world. Xbox is what it is because of Master Chief. Then Gears was allowed to come along. Am I lying? Of course, the third-party stuff came later. But it really, exclusives dominated forever till then. You telling me they didn't? They did. This Fortnite stuff didn't come till later. And that, to me, was a cancer. With this free-to-play microtransactions and gambling addictions. They did it making real good video games. It's like Minecraft did a really good job. It's like, you see what I'm saying? Exclusives are definitely most anti-consumer, is your opinion. And it's actually not a fact. Because that's like saying that everybody that wants exclusives is with the anti-consumer behavior. That's not true. That's your opinion. But they are pro-fanboy. No, that's not the case here. So it doesn't surprise me that it tops the list. Nicola says that implies that only the fanboys are providing feedback. 100% correct, because that's like you saying that everybody that wants exclusives in the Xbox world are Xbox fanboys. Dude, you can get past exclusives without being a fanboy and realize how important they are, how important identity is. The most dominant brands in the world are exclusive. I told you, Nvidia and Apple are number 1 and number 2. Google, number 3. Microsoft was up there before too. It was all exclusive. Go look, man. When Dell was up there, whatever. You know what I mean? Dude, identity. You can't beat it. Marvel, all of them, dude. My dude, if you want some more console sales, then Xbox must kill xCloud. But that goes against Asha future of play. He's like, wait, hold on, wait, what? What are you talking about? She's not running things like you really think. She's making a couple changes, but the stuff that's still in place is kind of still in place. She's not overriding Satya, dude. Wake up. People don't want exclusives, they just want to play games. I disagree with you on that. Why do you think when Matt Piscatelli told you to survey over 41% of gamers in the gaming industry, and we know the Xbox industry has shifted to promote the third party, but if you ask them today, I guarantee you that goes up to 50%. So you can say literally, because last year was 50%, we're never pushing that. Literally 50% or more of the gaming community wants exclusives. Because they realize how important that is. Only those who want to wear brand flags and justify their lame purchase with their piece of plastic. Only those who don't know how to use a PC want exclusives. There you go again. You have that mentality in the world to think that PC represents the entire world and all gamers. You are a moron. That is not true. PC never represented all of gaming. As a matter of fact, it does a lot of damage to gaming. You support more microtransactions than anybody. Don't get me started on League of Legends. You pirate more things. You will make companies go under. Seriously. You cheat more than anybody. You're not legit. And you have higher specifications in mouse and keyboard and lower MS. I've said this before in my videos and I'll say it again. You do not represent the intelligence of the gaming community. Stop trying to act like you do. No, people that understand it do. You could be in a PC world, you could be in a PlayStation world, you could be in a Nintendo world, you could be in the Xbox world. But just because you went and got a PC does not mean you're more intelligent than somebody on another platform. That does not justify their wholeness. It's just a gaming aspect. There's a lot more facets to life. This is what I don't understand about that mentality. It's like, I don't think so. No, I've seen some embarrassing stuff in the PC world and creepy stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're embarrassing. Just so we are clear, I think that's what he wanted to say, and that's okay as long as I understand you. It's not politics. I want Xbox to do exclusives again, but exclusives are still anti-consumer. You are allowed to think that. That's okay. If I have to buy 3 or more systems to play every game, that is not consumer friendly. It's not that hard to understand. You know what? I can understand why you feel that way. But if you want to get an iPhone, you can't get anywhere with Apple. Hey man, I'm just saying, let's say if you want to have, you know what I mean? You want to get another type of phone because you wanted a side phone and you like this, guess what, bro? You're going to have to go to that side and get it. If you wanted a phone from like China, you're like, man, but I like this too because I have my business phone and this and that. Bro, if you liked 2 different things in 2 different worlds, you're not going to be able to, you see what I mean? Like if you like 2 different brands, you're not getting the same deal, bro. The prices are going to be different. The problem is I want you to think about this. Does it justify the purchase? Like, do you get your values worth? Not everybody thinks everything's expensive. I'm going to give you an idea. Let's say that you went in and you traded in a system to get a PS5 Pro right now, right? You spent $600 or whatever because you were able to knock off some stuff. But you're the type of guy that goes on Fortnite a lot on PC, League of Legends, and some gacha games, and you're spending $400 a month on gachas. So to me, 12 times 4, you're spending $4,800 a year on gacha games. And a lot of people do this. Some people spend more. And on free-to-play games. On one game, one Fortnite game. You know, some people have spent way more than that. And you're crying about that. Do you think that that is anti-consumer? Or is that just their free will of choice? Or could you say, too, that those games are greedy and they psychologically exploit people? You see what I mean? Because one game like that, somebody could spend way more than what you're talking about. They'll spend a PC rig in a few months on those games. And all you got to do is get that box one time. You could be paying for Plus. You could be paying for online. You could buy 8 video games for $70. 8 times 7 is $560. And you could go get some microtransactions on a couple games. You've already spent more than a console. You're just getting a base, digital, or whatever. You see what I'm saying? It's like, it just really depends. You could look at today's world, dude, it's insane. I see people go buy 2 iPhone upgrades a year. Spend like $1,500, $2,000 doing that on both. Go out at a night at a movie theater, spend $100 and some bucks. Just one night. You buy one game, and it could last you a whole entire month. What if you went out 4 times, you spent $400 and something, just you and like 2 other people? And that's a little small thing. You can keep on engaging with the machine and everything else. I'm telling you, like, groceries are ridiculous. You see what I mean? And that's like, you got to do that every 5-6 hours. I don't know, however long you eat. It just depends on how you look at it. Your value is subjective. You know what I mean? So the anti-consumer thing only started, to me, I kind of felt like, when the Xbox started falling off. And people started playing that game. Before, nobody has ever said anything about exclusives being anti-consumer. Though back then, people were like, man, I wish this game was on this console, right? Because you can't afford it. That's it. But if everybody had money, would you say that was anti-consumer? What if you were given the consoles, but you only had to pay for the games? I want you to think about it. I think you say that because you kind of feel like you have to pay for this and this and that. But somebody can go pay for a $3,000 rig, and it still is not a PS5 Pro, an Xbox Series X, and a Nintendo Switch 2. And online for a couple years on all of them. Interesting, huh? That's how ridiculous the PC market is. How could you be on PC and talk anti-consumer? I don't think any side. The best side is Nintendo to me. They're still the cheapest. But even then, everybody can have anti-consumer practices. So if you pay $3,500 for a PC rig because of how ridiculous the prices are, how can you complain about anti-consumer in the console world? You can't, to me. It doesn't make any sense. This guy says basically all the dumbasses who want to pick up and play want exclusives. Are you going to say that about League of Legends? About World of Warcraft, for how long that's been there and never came to consoles? About Counter-Strike? About Dota? I'm just saying, there's other games as well, too. You could just put a controller in there and play them. Some of those games, not all of them, obviously. League of Legends needs a mouse, you know what I mean? But this is what I don't understand. Here he goes again by saying you're dumb because you want pick up and play exclusives. When really that's just your preference. No, you're a moron by not realizing that, by thinking because you're on PC that you're somehow privileged to think that exclusives are anti-consumer, and it's a fact and it's a truth, but that's your opinion, and that you deserve all the other consoles games without realizing what it took for the gaming industry to get in this position when they all were doing that. And now it was always led by that. And that's what got us to where we are here today. Until you start to get carried by garbage-ass microtransactions and free-to-play slop that is all generic and the same. It's garbage. When somebody's spending $1,000 on one game, the same game, just even for 1 year, and you're complaining about exclusives, you are a moron to me. 100% stupid. And that's things PC gamers do all the time. And creepy stuff too, and cheating. Is that not anti-gamer? because you're not following the rules when you have an advantage too, when you could play fair game. You see what I'm saying? You could just be a legit good player with everybody being in a handicap position for that long. I'm wondering, right? Because you know, Gacha used to be mobile PC before it was coming to console. You gassed that up. You gassed up Nvidia to the position that they're in, the most anti-consumer company on the planet when it comes to electronics and all that. Just in general, they're number one on the market. You dumbasses did that. Yeah, how do you feel when I tell you that? Though dude, let me just say this. Though I've always had PC gaming as well too. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's this type of stuff to me is very funny because it's like, you remind me of the guy that's a butthurt Xbox fanboy that can't handle exclusives not being there, and you're on PC and you want to push that ideology because the people that actually won have exclusives. Video won, Apple won, Google won, PlayStation won, Nintendo won, Marvel won, Disney won. It's all the losing aspects that really don't have an exclusive identity. Isn't that kind of funny here? That's the stuff that cracks me up. But the winners have identities. And strong identities and stand on their own and don't need to bum out. I can stand on my own, only in my own system. I can stand on my own. Let's take a look at another perspective here. You can't stand that, can you? You go shopping at certain places, I bet, because you like the exclusive identity. People go to Best Buy for a reason. I promise you they do. People go to Amazon. Amazon's at that too. For a reason. People go to Netflix. For a reason. Netflix sharing their content? They're anti-consumer? Or they built that up and earned it? Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Keep on gaming no matter what platform you're on.